Greetings. I am Dr. Yasmeen Nkrumah-Elie, Executive Vice President of MyEcon from Denver, Colorado. And it is my honor and my privilege to provide you this presentation today on learning and teaching personal financial literacy. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you have an opportunity to see what I see so that you can learn what I have learned and hopefully share this opportunity with others. Ideally, you have been invited to see this particular presentation by someone. And if you have not, if you've just landed upon it, then I hope that this next 45 minutes will be fulfilling for you. So this is a share session, which is showing how action really empowers. And I am a member of Extra Digit Movement, Our Legacy Movement, and the Cash Flow Happiness Group. So thank you for your time. Please get a pen and pad ready. You're going to want to take notes on this valuable information, and hopefully it will help you make some decisions to help you, your family, and community. Just a quick legal disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. Any advice that I'm offering you is as an individual that is currently managing my own personal finances using these strategies and proven methods that have been successful for me as well as thousands of others. I will not be recommending any specific stocks, mutual funds, or other investment vehicles. And if you are seeking that type of information, it is highly recommended that you seek a professional with licensure in that area. What we offer is personal financial literacy, and I will be able to provide you with proven information so that you can make educated decisions for you, your family, your community, and your legacy. So an outline of this presentation includes a company overview, some of the education and tools that are provided, what is the role of an independent associate, what traits make a great associate, and a call to action. So let's discuss the problem. Out of 320 million Americans, 95% are financially stressed. So what does that mean? That means that many people are living check to check or do not have a $3,000 to $5,000 emergency fund set aside, 6 to 12 months of living expenses saved in case they lose their job or there's some sort of personal or family emergency that keeps you away from your job for an extended period of time. The average American family has a debt of about $72,000 that includes mortgage, car notes, as well as student loans and consumer debt, such as credit cards. Most people have insufficient retirement funds. It's estimated that the average person is coming out with about $40,000 in retirement money, which to some may seem like a decent amount, but unfortunately you need 10 to 20 times the amount of money that you're currently making in order to actually retire. So $40,000 is definitely insufficient. Additionally, people do not have a financial success plan, and without a plan, it is definitely a plan to fail. So what we're recognizing is that the lack of money is keeping people from personal freedom and fulfillment. There are solutions, and financial literacy and taking action is definitely a step in the right direction. Financial literacy can lead to wealth, which can bring resource freedom, time freedom, relationship freedom, multi-generational wealth, and absolutely personal empowerment. So let me give you a little bit of an idea about MyEcon and their company. MyEcon is short for My Economy. It is a fast-growing, debt-free, technology-driven company with a leadership team with founders Ivy Stokes and Alvin Curry, who created a mission to empower people to attain personal financial success. The goals of the company are to create 1 million millionaires, eliminate billions of dollars in debt, create billions in assets, and develop masterminds of philanthropists that want to give back locally and nationally and even internationally. Let's get into the meat of this. We're going to go over what we call the Legacy 243. So if you're writing everything down, which I hope you are, please write down 2 objectives, put a couple spaces, 4 challenges, 4 spaces after that, and 3 solutions. So our two objectives, whether we recognize it or not, every day when we wake up and we start this rat race, as they call it, is to, one, maintain our current lifestyle. So pay for our current bills, our mortgage, our car note, make sure there's food on the table, clothes on our back, that we're able to provide for our transportation needs. But also our current lifestyle involves having a couple of things that we do enjoy, maybe going out to a movie or a play, to a nice restaurant, going on vacation, purchasing little extras just to enhance our lives. Our second objective, though some people don't necessarily think about it, is to have assets to support our future lifestyle. So what do we mean? We want to be able to retire one day and also create a legacy for our children as well as our community. But there are four challenges that are keeping us in the way. The first is taxes. And we're not about tax evasion, but we do recognize that there are millions of Americans who make money but don't pay taxes. And the reason is that they know secrets that many of us do not know. But taxes for the average American look like about 25 to 33% of your income. So if you think about this in a year span, that means from January to March and April, you're working just for the government. Could you imagine if you work during that period of time and you don't even receive a check? Well, that's kind of what's happening. If you make $50,000 a year, and this is your tax bracket of 25 to 33%, then that really means you're only making $32,000 a year. But yet, when you take out loans and things like that, they don't ask us, what is your take-home pay? They ask you, what is your gross pay? And so you put down $50,000 and you live and you spend money like you have $50,000. But the reality is you only are working with 32. Another thing that really challenges us is inflation. Inflation is that silent killer. Oh, we don't think about it, but it's how the value of our dollar is going down every year. So what do we mean by that? We mean our purchasing power is decreasing. If you have an example, let's say if you went grocery shopping 10 years ago with $100, you probably could fill up your buggy. But now with $100, it's starting to look pretty sparse. And that's because the value of the dollar is continually going down, and it impacts us greatly. Gas is going up, the cost of groceries are going up, the living expenses are going up, the cost of housing, cars, everything around us is going up, but our pay is not necessarily increasing. Have your money in something that is outpacing inflation, that 2 to 8% per year, then you're really actually losing money. The next challenge is debt. And we spoke about most American families having about $72,000 in debt. And this really can definitely challenge us because about a third of our money is then going to debt. So if a third is going to taxes, and then a third is going to debt, and then the last third is going to, I don't know. I have no idea where all that money just went. And that I don't know is focused around financial illiteracy and big business. And what do we mean by big business? We mean that corporations and large companies have done an amazing job at working at our psychology of getting us to purchase when we don't need to. We go into stores and there's a whole psychology behind what we purchase and why, and how they get us to go in and buy more than what we anticipated going into. Additionally, big business has pushed us into feeling like we have to purchase something every single month that we don't necessarily need. We have all of these holidays, and it's definitely a good thing to have these opportunities to take time off and spend with family, but does it mean we have to go into debt as a result? We have New Year's and we feel like, oh, wow, I have these New Year's resolutions. I need to buy a new gym membership or take out a bunch of money to do X, Y, and Z for my New Year's resolution and have a huge meal to start off the year. All of this is money that we don't have to spend, yet we feel like we do. Then we go into February, we're dealing with Valentine's Day. March, we're looking at spring break activities and even St. Patrick's Day, where people go out and buy a bunch of green stuff that they probably won't wear for the rest of the year. Then in April, if you're a Christian, you're celebrating Easter, or maybe it's still spring break time for you and your kids and graduation time. And then May, we're looking into Mother's Day and Memorial Day, and you got to have a big barbecue and have everybody over. And then you got to buy new patio furniture because you want people to have somewhere to sit. Then we get into June and it's Father's Day and still graduation time for high schools and things of that nature all over this country. Then we're jumping into July, 4th of July. Let's go buy a bunch of fireworks, $200-$300 in fireworks that we're going to let off in about 15-20 minutes. But most people won't even invest that kind of money into their lives for a full year. Then we jump into August. It's back to school time. Not only do our kids have to have school supplies, but then we also, which is needed, then we also have to get them a bunch of new clothes that they're going to get dirtied up and messed up anyway, and new backpacks. They got to look fly and have the newest lunch pails. We have all these social pressures to think that we have to buy and have new. Then we're looking into September, and we're looking at Labor Day. Wearing white, got to buy new clothes, and still have another big barbecue because it is the end of the summer. Then there's October, Halloween. There's a whole holiday where businesses are only open for 3 to 4 months, but have enough income to generate and survive for a full year based on one holiday, Halloween. And candy sales, wow, they skyrocket. In November is Thanksgiving, and we're traveling and we're seeing families, and this is the one day you get to be a complete glutton and not feel bad about it at all in terms of eating, but it's not really necessary, nor is it great for our health. Then we're jumping into December, and wow, there's a whole slew of different holidays associated with December based on your religious preferences or your spiritual preferences or cultural, from Christmas to Hanukkah to Kwanzaa, and then we're back at New Year's again. And during this, every single month of the year that we didn't need to spend, but we felt pressured to. That's big business. But there are solutions. We are absolutely solution-oriented in MyEcon. And we want to help people get positive cash flow by eliminating unnecessary expenses, recognizing that financial freedom occurs when you realize that 85% of your needs are merely exaggerated wants. So we want to get rid of some of these expenses that we just have that we really don't need. For example, there's the latte fund. I don't know if you've heard about the latte fund, but it's people that spend $4 or $5, maybe even $6 on a coffee every day. When in reality, you probably could save that money, maybe only spend $1 on coffee, make it at home, and then you still have $4 left. So in a countable month, that's $120 over that whole month, and over $1,440 over the full year that you could be saving and investing. And you'd be amazed at how $140 or $120 can impact your debt every month, but then also impact your investments. The next aspect is minimizing taxes. That 80% of Americans are overpaying taxes. If you get a refund, that means you overpaid. And the IRS actually suggests putting that money in a type of savings account or paying down debts might be a better option. They're telling us we should save that money. We should keep it. We should correct our W-4. We are absolutely allowed to do that as often as we want to. And they recommend us changing it and correcting it every year or whenever our lifestyles changed. But when was the last time you changed or corrected your W-4? For many people, that could bring money back into their pockets to the tune of $100 to $800 per month, depending on their lifestyle. The other aspects are helping you to eliminate debt, which I'm going to give an example in a little while, as well as improving financial literacy, which is something that you are taking the step to do right now. The second solution set is generating business income, recognizing that those who are wealthy have more than one stream of income. It's great to have a job, and we're not knocking a job at all because we definitely understand employment and the value, but having a job isn't going to get you wealthy. It's not likely going to get you the financial status that you are seeking. It's not likely really going to help you pay off your debt in 5 or 10 years. But yet that's what most people focus on. But millionaires have 7 streams of income, and they recognize the value of residual income, that you work once, but you're paid many times. Thus, you're creating leverage for creating financial freedom. So what do you choose? Do you just choose one? Or are you ready to choose multiple streams of income? The last solution is asset accumulation. And that's helping people say, I have some cash. Let me put it into an asset so I can develop more cash, recognizing that money makes faster and more consistently than labor. So asset accumulation, becoming an investor, is our third solution, and it's one that we are helping our associates and others achieve. But all of this is going to require a mindset shift, because from where we are, we must change our minds about what wealth is and what it looks like while you're obtaining it. Robert Kiyosaki talks about if you have more money than month, then you're actually wealthy, because most people do not have that. If you are putting away money in savings and able to invest even just a little bit, then you are on the path to wealth. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, talks about his two different fathers. His poor dad, who would always say, I can't afford it. And his other rich dad, who would say, how can I afford this? He says, if you say, I can't afford it, your brain stops. However, if you ask, how can I afford this? Then you are forcing your brain to think. So let's put on our thinking caps and let's get ready to change our minds. So we say, don't let a social decision steal your wealth. And what do we mean by that? We mean that when we think about what is wealth and what does wealth look like, we have a vision that sometimes is really very skewed. We think about really, really expensive cars. We think about these huge houses and all this bling and things of that nature. But is that really wealth? Think about it. Warren Buffett, he goes between being about the second to the fourth richest man in the world. And he drives a used car and still has the same home, smaller home in Nebraska that he's had for years. But yet he's worth billions. Yes, there are definitely rich people that have a lot of these flashy things, and that's what we're thought to think. But growing up as a child actress, I learned how many wealthy people are actually given things for free. Some of their clothes, some of their cars, as a marketing ploy to get other people to want those types of things. And if you read the book, The Millionaire Next Door, you can learn about how people may be living right next door to you, have millions of dollars, yet drive maybe like a Ford Explorer or a used car because they've decided to keep their money in. So it's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep. Now there's two tax laws in America, one for an employee and one for a business owner. And why is this important? When we talk about how much you keep, taxes are really impacting us. So if you're an employee, you're at about a 25 to 33% tax rate. That means you pay your taxes first, your bills, and then if you have anything left, you're paying yourself. And in most people, they're not. Then there's the business owner. As a business owner, you pay yourself as an employee, then you pay your bills, and if there's anything left over from your profits, then you're paying your taxes. And you're at about an 18 to 23% tax rate. But investments are only paying 10 to 15% in taxes. So it's the goal of the wealthy to make the majority of the money with the vehicle that is taxed the least, and that is investments. Sandy Bakken, who is a CPA and former IRS tax attorney, recognizes that if you don't have some sort of side business, you could be overpaying taxes to the tune of $3,000 to $9,000 a year. He writes a book and submits it every few years called Lower Your Taxes Big Time, the guide to powerful tax advantages of being a consultant, independent business person, or small business owner. So now let's introduce the concept of income shifting. We talked about how the employees have the highest tax bracket, the business owners a little bit less, and investors have the best one. So how do we go from the highest to the lowest? So if you don't have a strategy, the best way to start is actually by having a home-based business. As such, you're able to write off your lifestyle, your mortgage, vacations, utilities, dining, etc. And it helps you to save money. We're going to go ahead and give you an example now. Income shifting. So let's say you have a home that you're paying a monthly bill of $1,000. You designate 20% of that home for your business, and that equals a monthly savings of $200 and a yearly savings of $2,400. Similarly, for that same space, the utilities that you're already paying $500 a month, for that 20% of that space, which is your office, your business, you now have a monthly savings of $100 and annual of $1,200. Similarly, you can read this on your own. The home internet, your business requires internet marketing services, and 100% of that goes towards your business. Your cell phone, 85%. Travel and lodging. So if you have a business that you can take on the road, then you can take it with you when you're going on your vacations, and thus your vacations become business travel as well. If you're dining, similarly, you're there, you get opportunity to talk to your waiter or your waitress about your business. Again, if you're involved in marketing, then you can market anywhere and to anyone. And now your dining has become part of your business expenses. And what's really cool is that you're driving to and from that restaurant, even if you're there with your family, can then become a tax deduction. And entertainment, because while you travel, the IRS says the 24 hours before you travel and the 24 hours after you travel can also be applied towards business expenses because you're preparing for travel and then recovering from travel. So let's say you go to a concert that day before, or even a concert while you are on your business, then a portion of that can also become a tax deduction. Car mileage is a huge one. I gave the example of the restaurant, but car mileage is one that you can use when you're marketing your business at any given time. And if you have some sort of bumper sticker or other advertisement on your car about your business, then it helps make your car a tax deduction as well. So you definitely want to refer to a tax professional about all of these details, but please know this is perfectly legit. There are over 450 different deductions that you can get, and one of them includes hiring your children and spouse. I'm not going to discuss that in this particular workshop, but please know that that information is available. And if you would like more information on that, please feel free to contact me. My information will be at the end of this presentation. So how do you actually pay less in taxes using a home-based business with that example? So let's say you make $47,000 a year, and that's at a 25% tax rate, which would have you owing about $11,000 in taxes. But the government actually deducts $10,000, roughly $10,000, says we're not going to tax you on that portion, which means you're taxed on $37,000. And again, at the 25% tax rate, has you owing $9,250. That's $16,000 from the previous example, and let's subtract that from the 37. So you're subtracting out your lifestyle expenses, which has you at $21,000 for your taxable income, which actually enters you into a whole lower tax rate of 15%. So now you're only owing $3,150, which equates to a $6,100 federal tax savings. MyEcon associates are given the strategies and tools for financial freedom that lead to wealth. Our business is teaching strategies and providing tools to help others empower themselves financially. There is an absolute MyEcon associate advantage, which includes phenomenal world-class financial education, proven strategies, a network of like-minded individuals from everyone from individuals that are stay-at-home moms and dads, school teachers, business professionals, lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, and millionaires that are all within our network. We have several different masterminds that we've developed and tools for a complete financial success system, which I'm going to go over now. So our financial success membership includes a cash flow manager, which I will go into more detail in a few minutes, an ID defender, which protects our identity to the tune of $1 million, a key logging identity theft defense system to protect your computer and mobile devices from individuals stealing your information, membership into the Legal Club of America, which provides discount legal services tax advice and preparation, which is super essential when you have a home-based business in any kind of business. But in particular for home-based business, many people that prepare taxes for us, maybe a friend or a cousin or a neighbor, are not necessarily trained in the advantages of business taxes. They know how to help individuals, but not for businesses. And as a result, they will not be able to give us the proper advice on advising us with our taxes and all of these huge deductions, these potential 450 deductions that you can get by having a home-based business. Additionally, we have credit counseling and credit restoration. Let me tell you about the cash flow manager. Businesses require bookkeeping. When the founders of MyEcon came together, they said individuals should be taking care of their personal finances the same way that governments and corporations do. And the cash flow manager is a step towards being able to do that. So it helps you track your income and tax-deductible business expenses mobily on your phone, but it's online, so it's also available through the internet. It has physical security banks that protect your data and tracks your income expenses for business and home. You're able to take pictures of your receipts, capture them, and log them in at that time or at a later time so that you're keeping all of that information. And if you're anything like me, keeping track of all of your receipts and all of those little pieces of paper can be a challenge. And half the time, by the time you're getting ready to record all that information, those receipts are smudged and not easy to even recognize. So it's awesome if you can take that picture and get that information right away. Additionally, it tracks multiple businesses onto one account. So not just your MyEcon opportunity, but other businesses, and you can include your personal expenses as well. So this is available to all MyEcon associates for free, but it's also a product that you can market to others. Another awesome advantage of MyEcon is having credit restoration program. So for $349 for you, your friends, and your family, you get 3 complete rounds of credit restoration, which includes educational materials, support, and weekly coaching calls. What is amazing about this is that many people feel like, oh, I have pretty good credit, and I'm going to go ahead and apply for that mortgage, or I'm going to go ahead and apply for student loans for my family, or maybe even get a new car. But if you go through credit restoration, you can make sure that your credit is in its absolute best so that you are getting the best percentage rates for your loan, those best interest rates. And this can actually save you thousands of dollars. So it's a wonderful investment to make, even if you feel like your credit is in pretty good shape. Recommend it. And again, available for MyEcon members and friends and family for only $349, which is thousands less than what others are charging. And this is restoring your credit, not getting some sort of fake credit lines or anything like that, but actually restoring your credit so that you have the best advantage for you. Another advantage of MyEcon is getting access to the Cashback Mall, where you can earn up to 30% cash back by sharing this free mall with friends, families, and other business owners. And it has hundreds of different businesses that are available online that individuals use already, including like Walmart or Macy's, Priceline.com, Sam's Club, Home Depot, and many, many others. It also offers free coupons that you can clip and save additional money. Funny story, I went to the store with my husband a couple months back and I didn't bring any of my coupons. And then when I came back and I looked at my MyEcon coupons, I could have saved additional $15. I was mad at myself, but I haven't forgotten them since. Additionally, you can book travel through MyEcon so that you're saving money. And we book through Priceline, which many people use already. So you save even more money by booking through your MyEcon site. Advantage is 1 full free year of online marketing. So we want to be able to reach and teach as many people about financial literacy as possible. There are so many Americans that need this help, and we don't know all of them, but we want to reach as many as possible. So this free online system helps you automate your business and connect with individuals that you may have not been able to connect with otherwise, so that you can help them as well. So at this point, you're probably asking, how do I actually make money in MyEcon? Well, we focus on strategy and not sales. We help people correct their W-4 and minimize their taxes, which results in an average savings of $100 to $800 a month. We also are teaching financial literacy and referring the business to others, which results in a $25 to $50 referral fee. And once you qualify as an executive vice president, then it qualifies you for unlimited $500 to $1,000 bonuses for every 7 referrals. The third way is helping people invest their way to wealth, which obviously the sky is beyond the limit, or the sky is the limit, where you get asset cash. It helps you to become an investor so that way you can set the sky. So what do we teach and we actually provide? We're providing workshops that teach an introduction to financial literacy, something like what I'm doing right now. We provide the Legacy 243 to help people understand what are their objectives, what are their challenges, and what are solutions to wealth. We talk about how various positions of life are taxed, so the employee, the employer, as well as the investor, the benefits of a home-based business, and how financial illiteracy can actually hurt you. We teach and provide resources to help people correct their W-4 and understand the value of it. The Schedule C, being able to document and itemize your expenses. Help with record keeping through the Cash Flow Manager. Strategic financial planning through the Cash Flow Strategist, which helps to eliminate debt and creates investment plans personalized for you. We also provide information on becoming an educated investor and also the value of passive income streams. So let's talk a little bit about the Cash Flow Strategist and this debt elimination strategy. So let's give an example. There's an individual who corrected their W-4 and as a result had $395 come back into their paycheck every month, as well as decided to get the $1,000 monthly bonus. So thus has $1,395 per month to utilize. So with this, you now are looking at several different debts for this example. Using the Cash Flow Strategist, these debts are then outlined. The first one is the car with a balance of $18,000 and a current payment of $425. By applying that $1,395 to that current payment, the new payment is then $1,820. So it results in 10 months to actually terminate that particular debt. Then that $1,820 is then applied through the snowball method to the next debt, which is the MasterCard, with a balance of $5,000 and a current payment of $100 per month. The new payment with that $1,820 is now $1,920 and will only take 3 months to eliminate. That $1,920 is then applied to the $120 current payment for the Visa, which has a balance of $6,000. The new payment is $2,040 and only takes 3 months to eliminate. Then the $2,040 is then applied to this person's mortgage that has a current monthly payment of $1,450. The new payment is $3,490 and it only takes 52 months to eliminate this mortgage. So there was a total debt elimination of $209,000 in 68 months, and a new monthly cash flow created by debt elimination of $2,095, with a now net month cash flow of $3,490. So this individual in this example, rather than taking that $1,395 and saying, oh, let me, get a new car or let me buy a bunch of other stuff, said, no, let me prioritize, let me be disciplined. And now after 68 months, less than 6 years, is debt-free, has a home and a car paid for, no credit card debt, and a monthly net available cash flow of almost $3,500 that they can then use to invest. Can you imagine investing $3,500 a month? I alluded to how we teach a little bit about how financial illiteracy hurts you. And I'm not going to go into detail with these worksheets, but these are some of the things that we do teach in our workshops. One is the banker's secret and the rule of 72, and how leaving your money in the bank can actually be a $600,000 decision, where it turns out that you are loaning the bank $600,000 by leaving your money with them. Another two workshop activities we provide is understanding the difference between an adjustment versus a refund. That when you adjust your W-4, you're actually able to get money that when you then can invest, you're making a whole lot more money than if you're just getting your refund. And another example is the bloody mess. And it actually talks about how interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. In this particular example, it's a $5,000 credit card limit where a person is paying their individual limit, their individual amount of $100 per month, their minimum balance. But as a result, because of doing that, actually ends up paying $35,000 on this particular card. So MyEcon associates are independent associates. It's kind of like being a franchise owner. Yes, you definitely get a lot of the information in the marketing, but this is still your own company. We're able to implement the strategies and teach others how to do the same by correcting their W-4, utilizing the cash flow strategist to eliminate debt and to become investors. And you can have as many of these strategies as you want. By earning business income, by referring others and sponsoring new associates. Apologize for that spelling error. Let me go ahead and correct that now. By eliminating debt and also using asset accumulation. We also attend regional and national meetings and trainings that happen throughout the year, but also there are tons of webinars and phone call trainings that we get every week because financial literacy is a lifelong learning process. We educate as many people and families and communities as possible, and we are philanthropic. We want to be able to give back as much as possible. So how can you become a MyEcon associate? It is $199.95 as an initial investment. That includes our whole financial success membership system, the software, the system, and the support, as well as the tons of education that you receive. It is also $34.95 a month, but all of this is tax deductible because it is part of your business expenses. So now, is MyEcon right for you? Are you hungry and looking, ready to change your mindset and the mindset of those around you from one of poverty to one of wealth? Do you have a passion for our mission of creating 1 million millionaires? Are you willing to use this system? Do you want to surround yourself with others that are making changes in their lives and finding financial freedom? Are you ready to walk the talk and use what we have, but also make it applicable to the lives of others? So at this point in time, I'm giving you three options. The first is, thanks, but no thanks. I already have strategies that are actually working for me, for my family and my community. I knew all of this information. Thank you for the refresher, but just really not interested in doing this. The second is a number two, and you're saying, I want the strategies and the education. A number two usually is someone who already has a home-based business and would like to use MyEcon to complement it. Or someone who says, you know what, I don't need any extra income. And I honestly don't know who those people are, but I don't need any extra income, but I would like to implement the strategies. And a number one says, you know what, I'm all in. I want the strategies, the education, and the business. I am ready to learn and teach personal financial literacy. Let's build. I want to make this part of my business portfolio, and I definitely want to help others. So please take action today. Connect with the person that invited you to see this presentation and let him or her know if you are a 3, a no thanks, a 2, I want the strategies and education, or a 1, strategies, education, business, I want to teach financial literacy to others, and I want to be able to receive these referrals for this. If you were contacted by me, I am Dr. Yaz, and my website address is dryaz.myecon.net. And if you are ready right now, you can go ahead and click the link that says Join Now. Or if you fell upon this presentation just by accident, then please text MyEcon 1 or MyEcon 2 to 720-840-8759, and someone will get back with you immediately to discuss more about MyEcon with you. So again, I thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you. I hope this has been a great presentation for you. Any questions, feel free to contact me or the person who referred this to you. Have a wonderful day. Let's build and let's build wealth.